There is no planet B. There is no planet blah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah.
Ooh. Hello, Devils fans, hockey fans, sports fans, fans of dogs. You like to smoke weed? Fans of weed. Fans of anything. We're here today with the Devils You Know, history and trivia, New Jersey Devils trivia. And today is going to be the same as the rest of the episodes. We're going to do some random facts, probably about the darker days of the Devils between 2012 and 2018. Actually, it's not going to be between that. I guess you could say these questions come from around right when that time started. So, questions, these facts, history, this stuff is going to be kind of leading into some of that, but a lot of it always goes back to the past. And you know that, I mean, for instance, in 1998 is where we're going to start today. So, you know, but I wanted to remind you, Thursday, 5 p.m., Angus Crookshank, new Devil. We want to welcome him. We want to show him that the fans are supportive of him. He's going to be wearing a New Jersey Devils uniform for sure. You'll see it. I'm making a bet on him that he's going to be a game changer. Check out some clips. Check out some stuff on him. He's great. But at 5 o'clock, Thursday, 7/17, July 17th, this week, I'll be recording an interview with him. If you have anything you want to ask him, please send it over to me. I will say your name, whatever you want me to do. And I'll ask him your question. But anyway, in 1998, it was January 10th, actually, 1998, where Jason Arnott scored his first regular season goal for the New Jersey Devils. And it was actually the only goal in a loss, 4-1 against the Penguins at the Civic Arena. I keep saying arena. The Civic Arena, Mellon Arena. You know, they have so many arenas. He scored against Peter Skudra. You remember that goalie? Skudra? He was the Penguins goalie for a short time at 15:02 of the third period. And guess who assisted on these? I love it. It's a double Dougie. Doug Bodger and Doug Gilmore. That's two rare Devils right there who gave Jason Arnott his first assist. So, you know, did you ever wonder who the first European player chosen by the Devils in the first round of the draft was? Did you ever wonder that? Do you know the answer to that? That's the real question. Do you know the answer to that? I'll give you a hint. It was in 1994. It's a guy who we have seen wearing a jersey, a Devils jersey. He's played for the Devils. It's Vadim Sherifijanov. However the hell you say his name. Sherifijanov. Whatever. Vadim. Okay? That's it. That's it. That's where we're going to go with that. Vadim Sherifijanov, whatever it is. That's the answer to the question. It wasn't even a question. It was just a fact. Like this one. On April 10th, 2010, the Devils pitched. What the fuck am I talking about? It's been a long day. The Devils clinched the 9th Atlantic Division title in team history. Too bad the Atlantic Division is gone. We'd like to see that back in team history. Their 9th one. Their second consecutive with a 7-1 victory against the Islanders at the Prudential Center. Patrick Elliott scored 2 goals, and Travis Zajac, who should have been captain over Andy Green, and they were both moved to the Islanders together. Ironically, this is a 7-1 victory against the Islanders. Travis Zajac had 3 assists that night. So, yeah. This is an old school question. Goes back to the original Devils roster. Now, I have the team photo, the original first team photo. Hopefully, I can get Andrew to sign that, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Let's go back to that time, and we'll find out if we can answer this question. Which player led the Devils in power play goals and shorthanded goals in the inaugural season, 82-83? And I already know the answer to this one. Think about that team and who was really the goal scorer on that team, or one of the 2 or 3 like bigger goal scorers on the team. Don Lever, whatever you want to call him. That's the answer. King Don, original Devil. Maybe I should talk to Dano about Don Lever. Let me put that in my notes. Don Lever. All right. So I got a couple of notes for Dano, but most of it's going to be right off the dome. On October 13th, 2010, rookie defenseman Matt Taormina, you remember him? Remember his draft of the New Jersey Devils recorded his first career point in a 1-0 overtime victory against the Sabres at HSBC Arena. Sabres fans, you remember that place? He assisted on Ilya Kovalchuk's game-winning goal. Yeah, so there's 4 players scored at least 20 goals each for the Devils in 1991 and 1992. Could you even imagine what 4 players those are? 91, 92. Now, this is hard because some of these players, I'm not even going to get, that ruins the question. But let me just give you the answer. In 91, 92, 4 players scored 20 or more goals. So at least 20 goals. You got Claude Lemieux and Stéphane Richer. Both they got, from Montreal. They sent out, Kirk Muller, who was the pick they had to take after Mario Lemieux was stolen from them by the Pittsburgh Penguins. And we're going to talk about that. We might even discuss that with Ken Danico about the stealing of Mario Lemieux from the Devils. And what do you think? If the Devils did get the first draft pick overall that year when they were supposed to, if the Penguins didn't cheat and they had Mario Lemieux, would they have ended up drafting Martin Brodeur? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. The answer is Claude Lemieux, Stéphane Richer. The other 2, Peter Stastny and Kevin Todd. What do you think about that? Now we're going to go back all the way to 1989. Now this is a guy who started his career as a Devil in 89 and ended it later in the 2000s. Again, with the Devils. This, is a Lou Lamoriello, one of that Lou Lamoriello tricks where he has a young, great guy like a Ralston, a Holik, a Gomez. Guys that, came in, were great for the Devils, and then he brings them back. Cam Jansen. On February... Whatever, I'm not even going to go on. On February 13th, 89, Brendan Shanahan scored his first hat trick to lead the Devils to an 8-1 victory against the Maple Leafs at Brendan Byrne Arena. If you were at that game, let me know. I'd love to hear it. In the 82-83 season, the Devils began their inaugural season with the win and 3 ties in their first 4 games. So who was the first team to actually beat the Devils because they finally lost a game in their fifth game? Do you know the answer? Who was the team? And you know what? It's not a bad team to lose to for the first time. The Montreal Canadiens. Yep. So the Canadiens, despite what people think the Rangers or the Penguins were the first teams to beat the Devils. And that is incorrect. Did you know that on April 3rd, 2010, Marty Brodeur made 26 saves to lead the Devils to a 4-0 victory against the Hurricanes at RBC Center? It marked his 7th season with at least 8 shutouts, tying George Hainsworth's NHL record. So that was Brodeur on his tying days before breaking. Which 2 defensemen scored goals for the Devils in a 7-3 victory against the Stars in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final on May 30th? I was at this game 2000 at Continental Airlines Arena, and this is going to be This is my favorite answer, and I'm going to end it here with this. Which two defensemen scored goals in that game? And I'll remind you, against the Dallas Stars, Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final, May 30th, 2000, the game was a 7-3 victory, and two defensemen scored the game. One of them was well known for his offensive prowess before he came to New Jersey. Scott Stevens, and guess who the other one was? Mr. Devil himself, Kenny Danico. Let's give him a round of applause. Ken Danico, thank you everyone for listening. I'll talk to you soon. Ken Danico will be on with me. Angus Crookshank will be on with me. You'll see it right here. You can catch it on YouTube. You can catch it on X. And I'll talk to you soon. This has been The Devils You Know.